dear friends, to our devotional reflection time for Tuesday, August the 1st, 2023. I'm Brian J. Munro, pastor of Kitimat First Baptist Church in beautiful Kitimat, British Columbia. This year, we are following John F. MacArthur Jr.'s book, Drawing Near, Daily Readings for a Deeper Faith. And today's entry is entitled The Antidote for Sin. We read from Scripture, 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 14. Do everything in love. Our main thought today, friends, is the more you love God, the less you will sin. Pastor MacArthur writes, Scripture and personal experience teach us that sin always has its consequences. When you harbor unconfessed sin, you dishonor God and forfeit the blessings and joy He desires for you. Prolonged sin might even bring His chastening through pain or illness. That's what happened to Corinthian believers who partook of the Lord's table in a sinful manner. Read 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 27 to 30. It's quite clear what the Corinthian church was doing wrong. Now, Paul warned the rest of the congregation to take careful spiritual inventory of themselves to avoid incurring a similar punishment. In chapter 13, he reveals the root of their problem, saying, in effect, some of you are physically ill because you're sinning. Start loving God and one another as you should, and your ailments will disappear. Love is the antidote for sin. When a Pharisee asked Jesus which of the commandments was greatest, Jesus replied, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and foremost commandment. The second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments depend the whole law and the prophets. This is recorded in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 22, verses 37 to 40. If you love the Lord and your fellow men and women and people around you, you won't sin against them if you really do love them. That's why Paul said, He who loves his neighbor has fulfilled the law. For this, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not murder, you shall not steal, you shall not covet. And if there is any other commandment, it is summed up in this saying, You shall love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no wrong to a neighbor. Love, therefore, is the fulfillment of the law. Again, this is Paul writing to the Romans in chapter 13, verses 8 to 10. Dear friends, love is our highest calling and the greatest contribution we can make to others. But it's possible to neglect it or misunderstand its characteristics. That's why we're going to spend this entire month exploring love, true love, and how it functions. As we do, pray that your love for God and others will increase each day. My dear friends, I commend you for taking a few minutes out of your day to listen to this devotional reflection by Pastor MacArthur, and I am so grateful that I have the opportunity to read it for you. I've taken John MacArthur's suggestions for prayer and further study, and I've put them in the description portion of this video so that you can have them for yourself to refer to and to dig into. And those are, I think, excellent things for you to be doing in your discipleship walk with Christ. And may we be able to be together tomorrow to hear tomorrow's devotional reflection and continue to deepen our love for God and our knowledge of His will in our lives. Until then, may you go in the grace and the peace of the Lord.